Hi, Sagittarius. Taking a moment here to see why looking at this part of yourself or looking at this spot hurts so much. Why it's caused you so much pain or hurt or overthinking. This is one of those changes that changes your entire life from top to bottom. And we all feel that to a sense, right? But this kind of disillusions you to a point where you need to give yourself a moment, a breath to see the light. The last mutable sign was Virgo that we were in. And since then, you've been feeling the quake of this, perhaps. You've been feeling the undertones, the vibrations. And what it's doing is bringing you more towards your authentic self. It's bringing you more towards your very sharp intuition. This is all road signs in the dark, by the way, which is the middle as well. This is the opening that you have in this entry is driven by and can be propelled by your belief in yourself and what it is that keeps you going. Is the ability to allow your emotional needs and your creative needs to meet. That they don't have to be separate from each other. Obviously, depending on how much you'd like to merge. But even through possibly the relationship with the mother figure, that relationship may have changed you or allowed or became a catalyst or became a support system that has, or whatever that relationship is, has built into the subconscious, and it's given you hope and guidance. This really deep connection. And again, it doesn't have to be your literal mother, but a mother figure, someone who you connect with beyond the physical realm. Could be a mentor, right? This could be a very strong sense and intuition of yourself. And when we don't look or acknowledge these, shadow or aspects of ourselves that we deem to be bad or weird, and you know this, of course, but we're shying away from a part of ourselves that needs attention. And then, therefore, in a way, we are neglecting ourselves. Now, some of ourselves need to be, ignored sometimes, but not the parts that grow our curiosity and creativity. Not the parts of ourselves that know instinctually. So if there's something also taking you away from your instincts, be very wary of that person or that train of thought, no matter where it's coming from. Know that you don't have to necessarily challenge it, but you can take notice of that in your life. If there is a Virgo in your life, before we get down to this moon, if there is a Virgo in your life, they may be able to see things pretty clearly for you. So if you do want their help, just know you're going to get very much a light. You will. It won't be pleasant. It may not feel good, but it will be what you need, and they'll never not love you for it. So, and if there's an Aquarius in your life, And then we have this Cancerian energy as well, because these are not necessarily in regard to the stars right now. If there is an Aquarius around you, they could be your mother, motherly figure, or they could be someone you met back, or this could be, you know, from back in Cancer season, so back in the summer, midsummer, July, around that full moon, even if you are someone who tracks it. Whatever you have put your healing gears towards is being changed emotionally, shifted internally now, and you are seeing that, and you're going to be able to utilize that in your physical world soon, and you're beginning to see maybe how you can do that as well. That is something that could come up around this time of the full moon or the moon cycles, because this is also indicating the Sagittarius new moon with the Magician here, that in between the time from the Gemini, the 2 weeks from the full moon to the new moon, it would be a great time to put that, if you can find some kind of intention to put into place. And maybe it's that intention to become and meet this part of yourself that can utilize what's already on your table. How that light can then ignite into a fire, Sagittarius season, and then be put out into the world in a way that makes sense for you, in a way that is very you. And maybe at first the idea doesn't feel that way, but then by the new moon, it's like you had somewhat of a shift in perspective, which is extremely fire. An extreme fire element is to shift your perspective. It can be. And then we have the Strength card. So Leo also coming up strong here. So from back in the summer to now, what's changed may not be, you may not have seen the changes externally just yet, if that's what you're looking for. So don't go looking for that if that's what you're looking for this month. It's the internal fixtures that have been changing, shifting, questioning, removing, putting back, moving around, whatever it is that you want to do with that thing. That's what's been happening within you. This, for those of you who had a very clear intention, it will be very certain, and it'll almost becoming, you'll feel the energy within you and you'll want to move it out of you, because it doesn't feel good to keep it in you anymore. It feels better to release it, which is where artists get this momentum from, where they get that high from, where they get that performance. So for some of you may realize you want to perform as well. But for a lot of you, you're going to see how strong your mind has become just as much as your body. Because you're like, well, I'm strong enough, I can do this. You know, I can take it. No, you don't have to though. What if what made you stronger was by looking at it, not taking it anymore, and deciding that whatever backlash comes from it, that's what the strength is for, to grow that. Because, and if this is a Leo, a lot of you are finding that if this is a connection with a Leo, or even a marriage with a Leo, it may be changing drastically. You may be evolving into the next phase. For some of you, it's literally nothing anymore. It's becoming and is changing in terms of parting ways. But for others of you, it's this ending in terms of just the two of you, and maybe there is a birth happening, maybe there's a pregnancy, so be wary of that this month, that your body may have been preparing you for this role, for this next change, and it could scare you a little bit, but it's using that philosophy of knowing what's important to you and working on what's important to you right now in terms of your values, in terms of what you're looking for, the energy that you're looking to expand upon. And I'm not saying to hyper focus on it either. But whatever is coming towards you, whether it's broken or just needs a little help or needs a little attention, that's where. And that's the maneuver, is to step back until something really stands out. That's worth moving through that gate and onto the journey into the mountains, onto the journey into heavy Leo, Gemini energy too. This month will feel like a journey. You won't feel like you'll see the sun perhaps till the end of the month. You'll feel like you just embarked on an epic, right? An epic always reminds me of Sagittarius. And it is just the beginning for a lot of you. It's this huge change in your mind and how that connects to your life. The commitment and how far you decide to take that commitment. For some of you, it's a huge change, and it brings a huge change into your living situation. How you live in your day-to-day life. Not just your immediate living situation, it's how you interact. It's how you proceed forward with what you have and what information you've gained, and how to utilize that as a strength now. Because it is a time of change. Even if it's for the better and there's so much to celebrate, there's still this weight of responsibility that you feel. And if you do really connect to that spiritual aspect, you're connecting deeply to the roots of what's becoming a new tradition, a new concrete, set in stone, this is how I want to live my life kind of way. It may not be super clear, but you're getting the feelings. You're starting to maybe get the visions, for those of you who visualize. You see it in the people that you surround yourself with, what family looks like, how you want to reap the fruits of your labor, and how you want to expand upon that. The generosity. Because Taurus will go direct in Jupiter, or Jupiter will go direct in Taurus. I always do that. Am I wrong about this? Yeah, I lied. Neptune's going direct in Pisces, that's what I mean. Well, Jupiter is still in Taurus, and it may be that the luck is using your voice, but finding the right time, or learning to trust yourself to know the right time. And maybe that becomes your mantra or your intention. It's like, show me how I know, like what is in your body that shows you. And that's how you start to chain yourself, program yourself, initiate it in yourself. Because there is a greater independence that you seek. There is a strong sense of wanting to have some security, because you may be a fire sign, but all Sagittariuses need some kind of home base. They need to feel and have some kind of structure, some kind of thread. It's like when they go somewhere, there's some kind of, it's like having a type. There's some kind of type of way, and now you're starting to see what that really looks like through your discoveries. Why do you need to go through this? You need to meet yourself in a way that's very real, that's very clear, that's very light. And you can only get that way through the dark, through the change, and through meeting yourself in different ways in which that make you stronger, but not just on the outside and physically. And once you see those two things connect in your own perspective, in your own self, in yourself, it becomes very obvious to you that you and your perspective conducts the light here, and you go through things, but this is what helps expand your mind. This is what helps nurture you to grow. There's a trust that has to happen. There's a time of discomfort. And there's a time for celebration and love and joy and leaning into it all. So that's funny because we're ending this. But it's time to have your way in all those avenues, or be happy and not hold back and not allow control to hold you back either. Especially in a time where it could be easy to allow that. All right, Sag. Light it up this month. We'll see you next month.